star so bright. Pull your hat down, make sure your cinch is tight. Horse is kinda snuffy, cold chill up your spine. You'll get your ass moving, son, we're burning daylight.
Howdy there, I'm Matt McKinley and we're burning daylight.
In the saddle till the job's done right.
Welcome to Burning Daylight, the only podcast for the working cowboy. It's truly the best. That was a doozy last week. I'm not gonna lie. That one was right up there with the dumbest shit that we've ever said.
I mean, we came up with a new term. I mean, don't we strive to be accurate?
I thought.
Don't we strive to be accurate? Yeah. And I feel like the whole SpiderMan hero is a farce. You should be fucking shooting webs out your ass. You got the super strength. You can climb on walls. How the fuck are you not spewing shit out of your anal glands? I don't get it.
Yeah, or if you did like a farmer blow, and just like a big old snot rocket, but it's just a web.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how it would actually work.
I am boycotting SpiderMan now. Every time I watch it, that's all I can think about. But apparently, Paramount's not going for accuracy. Whatever.
Do you think that the Premier of Ontario will employ the services of SpiderMan to help move the trucks? Is that part of the War Powers Act or whatever it is that Trudeau
what a joke. Like, yes, I find it a slippery slope with Trudeau, and it is a serious situation. But just because that guy's such a fucking joke, I kind of can't take it serious. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
He's such a fucking goofball.
Like we were talking earlier when we were texting, because we've been talking about this for a while now, about how this mirrors up so closely with the 1920s, 1930s, and because we got all the makings of a world war in the happenings, and then just like little microcosms, but I did not expect Trudeau to emerge as the Mussolini of the 21st century, you know. and for those of you who are not all that, I think it's a pretty good comparison, because I didn't want to use the age-old Hitler comparison, because I don't think Trudeau's anywhere near. He just doesn't have the stones to be Hitler. But Mussolini, maybe. Mussolini was terrible to his own people, but he didn't go on like a genocidal rampage. But he was straight up fascist, and this shit that Trudeau is pulling right now is about as fascist as it gets.
Well, I feel like
the economic stuff.
When talking about authoritarian, the only references you can use that people nowadays even recognize is either like 1940s Germany or 1940s Italy.
Yeah.
There's no, just to keep it simple, stupid, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only references they know.
Yeah. So this is, but for anybody who hasn't been paying attention to it, Trudeau just invoked I think it's called the Emergencies Act or something like that. And it's basically
that is only used during time of war. Societal upheaval and pandemic, basically.
Right.
This is the first. They didn't even do it during the pandemic.
They discussed it too. They discussed invoking it during the pandemic, and so it's basically very similar to our Insurrection Act, or like the War Powers Act, something along those lines. Except it's like all of it rolled into one deal, and it's like extreme cases. And the last time they used it was in the 70s or something like that, and it wasn't even like this particular act. It was like the predecessor, and they used it because a bunch of Quebecois, like separatist, kidnapped a member of parliament or some shit like that, and so they invoked
No
it then.
shit.
Yeah, I was listening to and don't take my word for it. This is what I heard on a podcast.
Man, I thought you were a Canadian expert. What the fuck?
Well, I'm trying. There's a lot to get caught up on. You Nucks are a wily bunch. But listening to like the finance minister, or I believe is what that lady's title was, like when she was talking about the measures they're taking on the economic side of things.
Freezing bank accounts.
Yeah, and which is really interesting because so GoFundMe, after they got a whole bunch of backlash, they just automatically refunded everybody their money that donated. And then this other website, Give Send Go, offered to take up the torch, and so they raised just an ungodly amount of money. And then one of the courts, I think it was like Ontario High Court or something, issued an injunction which basically froze or barred anybody from dispensing those funds. But Give Send Go is not based in Canada, so that court order really didn't mean dick on this side of the line. But now that website got hacked, and supposedly like a list of donors to that campaign got released, and so like anybody who donated got doxxed, which
that's fucking crazy.
And this and then this Emergencies Act gets enacted or invoked, and now like they're not even really worried about using the military because they're just coming straight after your money. And
would you call that
your driver's license?
Would you say that would be a double tap to their livelihood? Because first they fire them for, and you know what I heard, and I wish fucking the left or most of the media outlets, they would recognize, like, I've heard this, most of the truckers are vaccinated, right?
Like
I've heard reports.
85 to 90% is what like the truckers union up there reported, which is not part of this protest, but that's what they're.
So if you carry that on, I mean, there's got to be a decent size of people who are vaccinated. And it's literally, you can't paint it, at least for them, as anti-vaccine. So like, what is it actually about? Like, and then he's playing into their hand. I mean, not playing in their hands, but he's basically proving their point for them. Mm-hmm. He is literally proving the point for them.
Yeah,
Mr. Trudeau.
And he's acting like social media doesn't exist. That's the thing that gets me with like the traditional media outlets is, and like the old school politicians. It's like, did you forget that YouTube is a thing? And that like this little fella here has a better camera than like 5 years ago movie studios had.
Oh, they that's the big thing. They can make movies on your camera.
Yeah. And but people is like, or they act like that shit doesn't exist. So he's trying to, he paints them out to be a bunch of racists. And the only image they can find is the one guy getting escorted out of the protest with his Confederate flag.
Just one.
Yeah, and so then now they're calling it an occupation, and it's really, and this was part of the beauty of like Martin Luther King's protest, because it is nonviolent. So like if there's no fights going on, there's no real confrontations with the police. It's really hard, and they just can't find any footage. You don't see any footage of anybody being violent like that. I've not seen anything, and I've followed this very closely.
Well,
And
and I know
it's
that
hard to paint them as a bunch of radicals,
BLM didn't have the type of protest they had here or in Canada that they had here. But like Trudeau was on the BLM side. Well, he didn't denounce any of the stuff that was happening, like the actual occupation of what the chop zone. Where's that at?
Seattle.
See, or like the protests that came out that, and yes, there was like people actually protesting peacefully, but then it fell tonight, and then whether they're part of the movement or not, they came in and burned down things,
And that's when you have CNN with the fiery but mostly peaceful.
But the point is, I think I heard somewhere that they had a total of 20 to 25 arrests.
Yeah.
And there's no property damage.
No.
Like annoying as fuck because of the them honking their horns, but
they also shut it down at a reasonable hour so people get some sleep. Like, and just stereotypical Canadian fashion. they know when to shut it down and be a good Canuck, Just
Are we on the path of getting a little bit of a man crush on our Canadian brethren?
A little bit. I mean, a little bit. I mean, it's really, and so I also heard that there's rumors that they're planning a naval blockade of Halifax Harbor.
How would they do that?
Just to like further prove their point. Like just
I mean, actual, like, do they have a fleet of fishing boats?
I'm sure they do. Like just all the crab fishermen up there or whatever, just like blockade. That'd be so cool. I don't know what that would look like, but it'd be awesome.
Let's be honest. If anybody needs to be pro-vaccine, it's those crabs. Those people who have crabs,
Well, sailors, come on. They've been out to sea for 6 weeks at a time. They're fucking anything they can get their hands on when they get back to shore. Male, female, non-binary, whatever.
There's a lot of rusty holes on a ship.
See, that'll be a perfect time for one of these non-binary folks to find out just how gay they are. I forget where I heard that analogy, but I think it holds true. Like non-binary people, they want to be gay, but they don't want to have to suck the dick.
I'm telling you, if I just know now, if I was a gay dude, I don't think I could suck dick. I just couldn't.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I could either.
Maybe that just makes us straight. Maybe if we were gay, I just couldn't.
I don't know. But like, the non-binary, they want to be gay, but they don't want to have to do the dirty work.
Wait. Is non-binary like men like in women and vice versa? Is that?
No. Like it's also like trans, but not having to go through with the whole thing. It's like lazy trans.
Okay.
Or lazy gay, lazy trans. Like, you want to be different, but not that different.
Do whatever you want to do. I support it, but man, I am getting older, and I just cannot keep up with the new adjectives, and it's only going to get worse. I mean, the older you get, it seems the less you actually remember fucking the cool shit, the hip shit that's going on. So I'm fucked. So just forgive me, support it. Just fucking, I don't understand all the adjectives.
How do you feel about sexual anarchy?
Well, if that means like just fucking like it's the 60s, I'm down.
Well, according to one Charlie Kirk, NFL is sexual anarchy.
And fuck you, Charlie Kirk. Fuck you. Fucking,
The
take the
I,
fucking.
if
Take
my internet was faster out here, I'd that tweet up on the screen. But he said he tweeted out the NFL has become the league of sexual anarchy. This halftime show should not be allowed on television.
Charlie
And,
Kirk, fucking quit being a Karen. Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry.
all right, so that dude is 28 fucking years old.
No, no, he is not.
28 years old, and he is officially the youngest boomer of all time.
Is he married?
There's no
There's
way
no
he's
fucking
married.
way.
No
All right.
way.
Research. Continue.
Yeah. Find a picture of him and pop it up on the screen. I don't know if I've got the bandwidth.
How do you do that?
You'll have to go down to the share screen.
Oh, boomer.
And
Boomer moment. Okay.
But yeah, I was like, I read that. I was going through Twitter, see what I missed in the commercials or funny moments on the screen, because that's one thing Twitter is excellent about. Like immediately you know if something hilarious happened. And Charlie Kirk was trending, and he usually is trending for bad hot takes. And well, yeah, he knocked it out of the park again. Sexual anarchy. I don't know what that means.
Can you see my screen, Matt?
Yes.
You can see the background? Okay.
Yeah.
So here is fucking Wilford Brimley at 28. There he is. You know what? Charlie Kirk, he does seem like that fucking snooty asshole kid.
He looks like a ventriloquist dummy. Scroll back up to that with the bow tie. He looks like a ventriloquist dummy.
He looks like he should be a character in R.L. Stein's Goosebumps books.
He looks like his head grew, but his teeth didn't grow proportionally with his head.
He looks like Gilbert Gottfried when he was 28.
Except somehow nerdier.
He looks like he looks like he chooses Star Trek over Star Wars.
Oh, definitely. And he's like a bobblehead.
He is a bobble. He's like a bobblehead from the 90s. Like no actual definite. Like you can't really tell which player it is. It's just a generic face.
He looks like the real life version of the Dwight Schrute bobblehead. Like where they made the bobblehead just slightly more handsome than the real life character. He looks like if they made the bobblehead and converted it back to real life. So he's like a slightly more handsome version of Dwight Schrute. But like the head is still bobblehead sized.
He looks like his name would, if he was an uncle, he'd be Uncle Touchy. That would be his nickname.
He's definitely an Uncle Touchy. And so
here's his wife.
Huh.
Apparently Miss Arizona.
Well,
yeah.
Good for you, Charlie Kirk.
You know what? She just looks like I don't know. There's no way she has a personality if she's married to Charlie Kirk.
Guaranteed she does no work on the sexual side of things.
She's a beard.
Yeah, she is putting out zero effort.
So let me get on the halftime show. So coming from a kid from Denver, this was the best fucking Super Bowl show ever. You know how people say that Peter Frampton, that old joke, like in the 80s, every house had a Peter Frampton album?
Mm-hmm.
Like during the years of during the year of 99, Every kid in my school had the 2001 Dre album.
Yeah.
Every fucking single kid. Like, and it was like a house party. Fucking, we had a ton of house parties listening to that shit and dancing. It was the best. Go fuck yourself, Charlie Kirk. Nobody wants Garth Brooks at the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks puts on a pretty good show.
I know. Something about Garth Brooks doesn't tell me to get amped up for the second half.
I don't know. I don't know why anyone really expects a good halftime show. Like, it's like the weirdest concert I ever saw was the halftime show of the Broncos game, and it was fucking Smash Mouth. And they played like 3 songs. And
they played All Star twice because they only have 2 hit songs.
Yeah. What is their other hit song? I was trying to think of it the other day and I couldn't think of it.
Why Can't We Be Friends?
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, me and Rob went, and it was Broncos Chiefs. It was the home opener, and it was on Sunday Night Football, but back when that was on ESPN, so like our freshman year of college. And
death of fun.
Yeah, so like they I can't remember if they kicked a field goal or took a knee or whatever right before half. But anyway, they ran off into the locker room. They wheeled the stage out there, and like Smash Mouth is getting ready to come out, and then there was a penalty or something, offensive penalty, so they had to bring everybody back out to either kick the extra point or kneel down, something. I forget what it was, something stupid. So they do that one play, run back into the locker room, wheel the stage back out, and then Smash Mouth comes out and plays 3 songs. They wheel the stage back off the field. It was the weirdest concert I've ever seen in my life.
The awkwardness of moving it back on and off the field was more entertaining than Why Can't We Be Friends?
Yeah, and we were up at club level, so like you can't see shit. As far as
what's going on, we paid good money for this.
Yeah, and Rob it just made Rob nervous, I think, because he was like,
Did he ask every like 5 minutes, what's going on? What's going on?
No, he just kind of did his like his it's like he's the Jewish Hank Hill. Is
oh my god, he is a Jewish Hill.
He just sounded nervous, and I understand why. It was just like I'm not sure what's happening, right? Why is Smash Mouth playing at halftime of a Broncos game?
The reason I love Rob so much, the funniest thing he does is he is the most awkward person dealing with just awkward situations or dead silence or something. Like most people will shut their mouth and look awkward. Rob can't contain it. He has to make sounds. Sounds have to come out of his mouth of how awkward it is. It's almost like Rob, it's like what's going on in your brain, except Rob has to fucking actually say it during that awkward situation.
It's so funny.
Rob, shut up, Rob. It's gonna just sit there.
Him and my buddy Clint Mandel, they are the funniest awkward people. Like an awkward Mandel is a hilarious Mandel.
Unintentionally funny.
Yeah, it's those two just being in an awkward situation makes me happy. It truly makes me happy. But,
I was going to tell you, we are planning to go out for the weekend before St. Patty's.
Oh.
So, just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably not going to make it, but that would be awesome.
You're as bad a friend as Tim is. How dare you?
That's not even close to true.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of right-wing outrage over the halftime show, which actually I welcome that, because that means people are kind of getting back to normal. And the fact that they're bitching about the halftime show that's like a national pastime in and of itself.
Right.
So if people are bitching about the halftime show, then that even though it was still political, apparently the Eminem deal was that pissed people off too. I didn't even notice it, honestly. I thought it was. And as far as Charlie Kirk was concerned, compared to last year's halftime show with Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, dude, it was tame. It was very tame. So
that was the best halftime show before this year.
I agree. I didn't care much for J-Lo, but Shakira, whew, wow, yeah, she's still got it.
Oh, speaking of very good-looking women, possibly, who would you rather, Jen Psaki or who's the Democrat from Hawaii you really like? Gillibrand, Tulsi Gabbard. Which one? They'll tell me.
Not even a contest.
Okay, so that confirms your Psaki crush isn't as hard as I thought it was.
No, I think she's semi kind of hot. Like, you know my theory on redheads. There's no in between, but she's one of the rare like unicorn cases of an in between ginger.
She's kind of hot in a mannequin kind of way, in both emotion and looks.
And also, I mean, she is very unlikable. Don't get me wrong. I do not like the woman. She's not likable, but she's kind of somewhat hot.
Oh, speaking of good-looking women in power, did you hear AOC? What she said? One of the causes of the rise in crime is
the child tax credit. See, my AOC crush runs pretty deep. Like, she is truly a good-looking woman. Dumber than shit, but I don't know. She it's usually a good day when she says something, because it's usually going to be stupid and laughably stupid.
It's almost like she has a economics degree from Boston
College. Yeah.
What did Marky Mark teach her? Did Marky Mark teach her econ class or what?
No, because she doesn't even have her own burger chain yet. So.
What? Oh yeah, because they had that show. I got it. Yeah. The Wahlburgers.
Yeah.
No, but basically,
what's if you had a socialist burger joint, what would you name it?
If I had a bar, I'd call it Stolen's. That just sounds like a bar.
I'd just say our burger. That's what I would call it.
Our burger.
Our burger.
Probably the People's Burger. The People's Republic of Burger.
Yeah. Huh. I like our burger.
But basically,
that's what I'm going with.
She said that people had to steal formula because the child tax credit was up. That's why crime's up.
Yeah.
And then
nothing to do with the inflation or the lockdowns or anything of that nature.
Well, and then they looked into it further, and I guess there's this. Apparently, the new thing is gangs are stealing formula to sell on the black market. So, yes, formula has to be involved in some way, but it's not mom stealing the formula. It's
yeah,
groups stealing entire shipment of formula, and then actually selling some overseas. So
You think Tony Soprano did that?
no. Oh.
Is that a Soprano venture?
Oh yeah, that would totally be a Jersey mob scam.
Yeah,
That's on the level of hijacking parking meters, like just
right.
that level. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If there's money to be made, the mob will find a way. The mob or the government, they'll figure out a way to. I mean, because the government's just the mob. Let's just face it, they're a mob uh, with a better alibi.
Mm.
Um,
Oh.
uh, what else is going on? Are we going to war with Russia or are we not?
Oh, the sneaky little fucker. So I have a theory. So Putin, well, so today they said, "Oh, we're pulling troops back," and showed video. And
Mm,
then, like a couple hours later, there was a cyber attack on a couple
yeah,
banks, and I think even a government entity. So that was interesting. But
and then you just like pan to the little video of Putin just doing that little wink.
yeah, wink. Well, and there's like reports too that apparently, I don't know if it was generals or people in his inner circle or other higher ups, but they're like freaking out because they think this is nuts. They think Putin doing this shit is nuts.
Yeah,
And then did you hear the Ukrainian president the other day? He said, "Oh, they're gonna invade on the 15th," and all these other details. And then the whoever his handlers were, a spokesperson, was like, "Oh well, he was being facetious. He is a comedian after all." I'm like, not the time to be kidding, douchebag. Or
yeah.
maybe he let it slip, but like,
Well, I think that the like our media also spun it way out of proportion too. Like he said
oh,
it
I'm
as a
sure.
and but yeah, either way, it's like it's
But
not the time, not the
as
time.
a leader, though, you not only do you have to worry about your actual message, but little sound bites like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't have fucking sound bite like
Like I
like
said,
Joe
YouTube exists.
like Joe Biden's minor incursion. If you
Yeah.
don't clarify it, then that soundbite is just gonna fucking go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Like,
Or like, and you just honestly don't want Joe Biden saying much anything because he's gonna be like,
Joe,
bad dude, man. And we
what
got the Syria. I mean, Iraq. I mean, the thing. Yeah.
what
Come
what
on.
does he call people? Pop Jack? What is he?
Corn pop.
Corn?
Corn pop.
What is he?
I
That
don't
that
know.
seems that even seems like a diss that's older than his generation.
I
It
know.
seems like an 1850 term.
Lion, dog face, pony soldier.
Now, did you call me a fiddling bender? Now, if you call me a
uh,
fiddling bender, then we have business. Wait, what? What?
I'm just waiting for him to call somebody a jive turkey.
Oh shit, Joe's reliving in the 70s.
Oh fuck. Well, that's apparently that's what dementia patients do is they revert back to the good old days.
You know what? I mean, it's so much like the late 1970s. Maybe it's triggered him into thinking it's the late 1970s.
Maybe over under how many years or months till Uncle Joe drops a hard N bomb?
I don't. I don't think he's gonna. They
I
they
don't
won't
know.
they won't let him out much.
That's probably a good call. That's probably a good call.
Oh man, all you can do is laugh.
Have
All you can do is laugh.
have you been watching the new South Parks?
No, I I actually started back on season 16, going through
Oh,
all those. So I've got a ways to go.
oh
No,
man.
but what's going down?
Oh, so they addressed the hard in the room, and they addressed the token situation, but it's like the best gaslighting of all time, where the premise of the show is Token is actually Tolkien. His name is Tolkien Black, like J.R.R. Tolkien, because the elder Mr. Black was a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, and
Uh-huh.
so they just play it off like and Stan's the only one that calls like thought his name was Token. Everybody else is like, did you know he was named after J.R.R. Tolkien? And everybody's like, yeah, dude. Everybody like, and Stan's just like, I think I might be racist.
This comes to realization.
uh, and so they play it off like that. That's how it's been forever. His name has been Tolkien, and not Token Black. And the doctor is one that got me right at the end. He's like, if you didn't realize his name was Tolkien, then you're the fucking problem. It's I
You
don't know.
know,
It's classic South Park.
the so I'm going back through the seasons, and still this day, I think the greatest South Park character of all time is Mr. Anderson. And some of his best stuff is when he's Trump, and there's like little innuendos that he just sexually abuses all the Republicans.
Yeah.
Like Paul Ryan comes out and he tells them exactly what Trump wants him to tell him, and he's got a black eye, and he's got like cum on his eye, or he's got white stuff on his eye, and the reporter's like, "Is that cum?" He's like, "No, I fell down some stairs." Like it is so good, like so satirically accurate.
Oh. It is really funny.
Well, and I have to say, South Park's got to call you up to get tips on the Mitch McConnell impersonation.
Oh yeah.
Like it's okay, but it's definitely not Matt McKinley-esque. Not even close.
I do a pretty good Lindsey Graham and a pretty good Mitch McConnell.
But ladybugs.
Senator Ladybugs. I do declare.
So I got to rip on Republicans a little bit too. How come, and rightfully so, did everybody create such a big stink about the emails Hillary Clinton had just, disappeared? But then, come to find out, Trump took some presidential documents to his home, and it may or may not be true, but there's reports of him shredding things and ripping stuff up,
flushing down the toilet.
Like, okay, yes, we'll wait, to see if this is actually true. But how come we can't jump on both of them?
Yeah,
and you know what? And Democrats too. Like, what hypocrites?
Oh yeah, they're all hypocrites. And honestly, I want it all out in the open. Like, I want to see what everybody was saying on like both sides of the aisle. I want to see what everybody was saying on January 6th. I want to hear it all.
And damn it, just get fucking who's the crazy asshole we want?
Alex Jones.
Please.
Give him whatever immunity you have to give him, and just let him spew.
Yes,
it'd be glorious.
Now that's another bet. Over under on 5 minutes of when he drops his first N-bomb.
Alex Jones has never dropped the N-bomb as far as I know.
No, but I feel like he could get worked up enough.
I don't think so. He's No, he goes into straight weird shit like intergalactic, human monkey hybrids or some shit like that. But no, he doesn't get involved in the racing. They call him racist, but they won't ever show you like how he's racist.
So he's the L. Ron Hubbard of politics.
Kinda, except he's I don't think he's created a new religion. He might have. Who the fuck knows? Uh, he's I don't know. Alex Jones is I don't listen to him unless he's on like somebody else's podcast. Like I don't go to his show to listen to it. If he's on somebody else's podcast, I'll listen to it because I know it's gonna be entertaining as shit. But
Fucking gold.
oh yeah. No, I wanna like I wanna see what old Nance was what she was doing on January 6th. I want to see who was coaching AOC for her made up story because she was terrified for her life even though she wasn't even in the building when all this shit went down.
It's just another situation you keep on asking. There's the internet, right?
Yeah, the internet
this,
right?
And people know, I mean, from all the cameras and shit, people know who was around you at the time.
Well,
who can confirm your story.
And the internet has an undefeated record. The internet is undefeated.
Undefeated.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just no self-awareness whatsoever on all these people's parts. But like Ted Cruz last year when he went to Cancun, like I know there's nothing you can do as a U.S. senator in that situation, but it just doesn't look good when the people of your state who voted you in are paying your salary are without power and you're off in Cancun.
I'm still pissed off he didn't come back with. I would really have liked to see him come back with a tan and braids and just try to excuse what he did.
And his weird beard that he has.
Oh, it's a shit beard. Let it go.
He is an unfortunate looking person. I mean,
Shall we? Here, let's see who Ted Cruz's wife is. Shall we?
She's not bad looking, if I remember right.
Okay, share screen. You know what? Do you do this too? It seems like every time I'm on thinking or talking about somebody on a topic or thinking about them, I immediately have to go see what their wife looks like.
Yeah.
Just to see, like this dork got that lady. I just have to check. Let's see. Ted Cruz wife. Heidi
Cruz. Oh, those are not flattering pictures of her at all.
Especially that one.
Oh, she looks positively insane right there. She looks good there.
You're a good looking lady. Look at Teddy.
Oh man.
Could you imagine cornrows on that fucking ghoulish face?
Oh, he looks like that. What was that Jack Black movie where he's like the mortician?
The mortician?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in a movie where he's a mortician.
Yeah, it was like some dark comedy. That's what Ted Cruz looks like there in that
school cock.
Something like that.
He looks like he's singing that Aretha Franklin song.
Yeah, Celine Dion.
Sing it for the truckers.
Yeah, got a little tickle in my throat. The vocal cords are not there tonight.
Is that because there's? Do you got a pube stuck in there again, McKinley?
I might. It's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just can't get to it. Try to get it out of there, and it's just like stuck and just like warbles.
Yeah, it gets itchier if there's crabs on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta get that shit out of there. Tweezers, something. Toothpick.
Yes. Oh, and then of course today the Hillary Clinton thing with the spying. I've been trying to read articles, like some on the way far right, some on the far left, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
So, from what I can gather, there was there was like a company hired by a lawyer who is connected to Hillary Clinton. I don't know if there's any evidence that it was directly from that campaign, but they're connected. He's connected to the DNC. His firm is connected to the DNC and Hillary Clinton. And what they did was this company. So they didn't get actually like specific data, but they got like something extent. They were trying to. First, their target was to somehow connect Trump to Russia, which that actually happened. They're admitting that. They were trying to find basically where the cell phones were coming from. So if say you had 10 people in the building, these guys could tell you where those cell phones came from. They're United States cell phone.
Yeah.
And so one time they found a Russian cell phone attached to somebody who was Russian, and then they used this to go to the feds and say, oh, we think something's going on here. And I think it's technically not illegal, but it started this whole fucking thing.
Yes.
It is shady as fuck. And you know, what was it? One of the real far left public, Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair was right. It technically, like, no, she did not spy on them, but just that the article wasn't like, this is morally wrong and has caused so much fucking division the past 5 to 6 years. Just that they couldn't put that in there is fucking appalling.
Yeah. Well, it's like the same thing with that Times article did with, you know, when right after the election, and they talked about how there was this big concerted effort to secure democracy, which, if you put it on the flip side, it sounds like a lot like you did a whole bunch of shady shit to legally sway the election. And it's, I don't know, it's same.
It's the same kind of shit you see in those political movies, either comedic or drama, where they pull out this crazy shit and somehow they think it's going to be acceptable. Apparently it is to the left. You know, like in the campaign, you know, when it gets really petty towards the end.
Yeah.
And they start talking about like, oh, he has a Chinese dog. He must be a part of the Chinese Communist Party.
Right.
It's kind of the same shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's well, and the fact that, like, this whole thing was started under the Obama administration, using the power of the federal government to start this investigation on, you know, a candidate for president, and then the incoming president, and then the sitting president of the United States being undermined before he even took office by his own, you know, apparatus, or, you know, that he takes over. So, like, from day one, like, they tied that guy's hands, and, like, don't get me wrong, he did a lot of shit, good and bad, but, like, he was so hampered from the get-go because of that bullshit.
They created a narrative for the last 6 years. Mm-hmm. It's not all directly connected to the Russian thing, but
that's where it started.
The division, man. I mean, and we were already divided since Bush, and it just got worse and worse, and they just turned it up 5 notches.
Yeah,
you know.
And then what was the big October surprise was the Hunter Biden laptop deal, which the story got absolutely scrubbed from social media. Like, Twitter would not even let you share the link, like, let alone like retweet the post from the New York Post, like their tweet. You couldn't retweet that. You couldn't even copy the link and send it to somebody in a direct message.
I'm so ready. Watch, this is gonna happen. There's gonna be some argument by a politician in the next couple of years that say something is banned outright on Twitter, and people say freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Their argument will be that the founders would never realize that you could have instant free speech, so therefore it's not protected. Or something like it's mass media. You know, they would never even imagine the mass media we have now.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that argument.
Yeah, that's, they use, that's the Second Amendment argument, is like that the founding fathers could have never imagined fully automatic weapons or whatever. But there's a reason why they didn't say muskets. They said arms.
Right. Matt, it meant your arms.
Yeah.
Matt, it meant your arms.
And bare arms, like no
bare
sleeves.
Right.
The founders hated sleeves.
Yes. Like a cut-off jean jacket.
Speaking of which, did you see the curling guy for Team America?
Is it the dude with the long hair and the stash?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
It made me proud of our Olympic team. We watched some speed skating the other night. That's the only. And we watched the monobob.
Is it sad that America's #1 star now looks more Canadian than American?
I know. And our gold medalist in the monobob is a Canadian that just received her citizenship.
She want to come on the winning team.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so yeah, the Olympics are going on, I guess. So
haven't seen a single second.
Yeah, and it's in China, and it's going about how you'd expect it to go. The Olympics in China.
You know what was so comically tragic was when they had a Uyghur citizen carry the torch out, almost like, "Hey, here's one. Look, we're treating them right. Light the torch. Oh yes, look, we're treating them okay. Okay, get back to work."
Our token Uyghur. See, here he is, very healthy, very good. It's a good, healthy Uyghur.
Like one out of millions. Yep, we're doing it right, world.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, China. Jesus Christ.
You know what? I think what Putin was doing today was he was testing with the pullback and then the possible cyber attacks, which can we all admit we probably think it came from Russia. I think he was testing to see what the West was going to do today. I think he was testing to see if sanctions would go in. You know how there's an argument between sanctions now or sanctions later? I think he was testing to see, okay, if I push this far, are they going to put those sanctions on me? But China's watching, man. And I still think if he gets away with invading and nothing happens, I think Taiwan's a done decision. Like, I think the Chinese are going in.
I wouldn't be surprised. And man, Lydia, shut up. She said, "Who is even Dr. Dre?"
Oh, Lydia,
get out of here.
Did you forget about Dre? Maybe that, you know what? Maybe she was throwing up a softball for me to nail it like I did.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everybody wants to talk like you got something to say, but that comes out when you move the lips. It's a bunch of gibberish. Motherfuckers forgot about Dre.
Cocksuckers.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I was reading through. We got I don't know who's speaking, but it's one thing. Trudeausolini. That's what I named the episode.
Trudeausolini.
Yeah.
That sounds
Uh,
like a dinner dish at the Olive Garden.
I know it, and it goes real good with some gabagool.
It's Alfredo with Canadian bacon.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe it's a side of maple syrup.
Right.
He said he had a hot wife till Idris Elba started giving her the BBC and COVID. Huh. Good
Wait,
for
Idris Elba stole his wife or what?
Maybe just cucked him. I don't know. Trudeau seems like he likes to get cucked. Question though. Question.
Answer.
While he is in the process of being cucked, does he wear blackface? Because he's been known to do that.
He's been known to do.
He can't even remember how many times he's been in blackface. That would be something. That little like that would be his thing, is to just get all painted up in blackface and then have just be cucked, have your wife get plowed out by a big black dude and you just watch in the corner while you're in blackface.
If we had Viagra as a sponsor, that would have been the joke of the day. But since we don't have a sponsor from Viagra, that wasn't the joke of the day.
Hey, even you generic brands, we don't have to be name brand here.
Oh, totally.
Dickpills.com. We'll take a sponsorship.
We'll fucking promote the shit out of the fucking shitty Kroger's brand.
Yeah, we'll give you some new slogans too.
Yeah,
we're good at slogans.
Right.
But we don't do it for free. As soon as we get a sponsor, we'll start dishing them up.
Yeah. All right, I'm bringing it up every episode until it happens.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So
fuck you.
Viagra, is it Cialis? No, Cialis is the sleeping pill, right? Or Cialis, is that the dick pill? I don't know.
Somehow
I should know these things. They said there's reports that it treats COVID now. So
Cialis
and dementia. Well, just no, Viagra or whatever the
it does.
Viagra is.
COVID now
COVID
too. Yes.
And dementia. What does it not do?
We're in the future, dude. We're in the fucking future.
What happens if a lady takes Viagra? Like, does their clit get massive?
You know what? That's a good... I'm going to have to ask my wife. She would know. She would fucking know.
Like their clit and their nips just extend?
Well, no. What I think happens is they drink a ton of beer and want to watch football all day. I think that might happen. It's almost like it transforms them.
They start talking about SpiderManning.
Right. But it's they turn into a young male, not an old male. So they won't sit down and watch, World War II documentaries. Instead, they'll talk about what's going to happen this weekend when they go play 36 holes of golf and get drunk.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they just turn into a frat guy.
Apparently, it's science.
I think so. So, Lydia, pop a Viagra. Let us know what happens.
Okay, or Cialis, which can also treat erectile dysfunction, enlarged prostate. It can also treat high blood pressure in the lungs. God, we're in the future. We're in the future. Answer.
What are the drawbacks to it if you're in blackface? Like, is this something that Trudeau would take while he's getting cucked in blackface?
So how many times was he in blackface?
Apparently a bunch.
Was it just like his thing?
Maybe. I don't know. And various shades of blackface too. Like he was like an Indian.
Oh yeah,
dude
I saw that.
with the turban and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So not full on Nubian, but South Asian anyways. And I Maybe it was this thing. I don't know.
Was it like it was like at a party and he only knew a party was really good as if like Trudeau came out in blackface?
Yeah.
Was that when you knew it was like a legit party? It was like, oh,
That's like,
kind of like Will Ferrell streaking. It's like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
good party. Will's fucking dick's out again.
Yeah. Frank the Tank comes to life, and Trudeau. When Trudeau puts on the blackface, that's when shit gets real lit.
God, that fucking guy.
Yeah.
You poor Canadians.
What a turd.
What a turd.
Yeah. What was there was a few other things people were pissed about this weekend. I forget what they were though.
Pissed off about.
I don't remember. It was a good fight card on Saturday. There were some really good fights.
Oh, I had one more thing. So remember the Pelosi and the stock?
The
whole stock situation. So Elizabeth Warner and another Republican, I can't remember, put together some legislation that was restricting basically stock ownership by members of Congress. And I can't remember all the. Oh, go ahead.
I think as individual stocks, like ban the.
Yeah.
But so like you can invest in like mutual funds and shit, but not individual stock trades.
But then in the legislation, there's something in there that said they didn't have to pay taxes on, like some regular citizen would have to pay taxes. I can't remember if they gained or if they sold. And somehow they didn't have to do that. Like that was the
That's neat. That's
here, let me give me your thoughts on that. Let me get an article so I can get the actual details here.
All right, so these people are the worst people on earth. They're so I'm not surprised by any of that. It's shocking a lot of times just how far the corruption goes, but it's never surprising. I'm not, like I said, not at all surprised by this little number, but
okay,
yeah,
I found an article.
They put a little carve out,
and I know it's the New York Post that's to the right, but usually in order to find these little tidbits, you have to read some right-wing article. You just do. So here we go. Oh, I got to show you this picture too. Oh, the New York Post. They have some great fucking cover art.
They are really good on their headlines and and their pictures are pretty.
Okay. So,
you know, that's so. Let me tell you the problem I have. Like, give Lizzie Paleface the respect she deserves. Put a headdress on her. All right. She is a proud Native American woman, and Princess Paleface deserves a headdress.
Okay, so Elizabeth Warren's bipartisan bill banning stock trading on Capitol Hill has little notice provisions that could save lawmakers millions of dollars worth of capital gains taxes. And Nancy Pelosi is signaling she likes it. Well, no shit.
Of course she is.
I bet she does.
Steve Daines, huh? Montana.
On the face of it, the forthcoming ban on Congressional Stock Ownership Act, the Warren D. Massachusetts and Steve Daines of Montana would be the most stringent proposed crackdown on stock trading today. It wouldn't just ban members of Congress and their spouses from trading stocks and require them to put their assets in blind trust, like another popular Democratic proposal. Blah, blah, blah. It also will require them to sell all their individual holdings altogether. Sources familiar to the bill told the Post. Nevertheless, according to the less notice provisions in the bill, lawmakers who convert their own stocks would also receive a massive sweetener. They would be able to convert their stocks into broad based investment funds or treasury bonds while deferring any capital gains tax until they sell off the new assets. And if they die before selling the assets, well, because they're kids of congressmen, the taxes would be waived altogether. I added the kids with congressmen part. Apologies. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So their kids won't pay any capital gains tax on it, which I'm okay with. But your average farm and ranch that when it gets sold to the next family, yeah, you're talking like a 55% estate tax on it.
And rules for ye, not for thee.
Yep. It's it's lovely stuff. Has Dan Crenshaw fought a Ukrainian girl yet?
No.
I'm still waiting for that.
No, he hasn't. You know why? Because no one's questioning his faith.
Ukrainians, if you want to get this shit kicked off, you just question Congressman Dan Crenshaw's faith, and you can get it on right then and there. Right then and there.
Is he like Popeye? Does he eat something and then he becomes super strong?
I don't know. Is it like when if he takes the eye patch off, that's when the super strength happens.
Maybe he's got a laser.
I know he's got like one of his eyes has got a like the Navy SEAL trident on it, which is pretty badass.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like his fake eye has got a Navy SEAL trident.
I've never seen him with his patch off.
Yeah, I don't. There's a picture of it somewhere, I'm sure, but yeah. But still, if there's any 10-year-old Ukrainian girls that wanna get shit popping, just
oh my God,
Dan Crenshaw a Buddhist or something.
He has a Captain America eyeball too.
Oh,
that's fun.
Yeah,
I didn't know that there was such a market for fake eyeballs.
Well, there wasn't until we started getting blown up by roadside bombs in Iraq, and then the prosthetics market really took off. Really took off after that.
That was the dark joke of the night.
And,
brought to you by Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Burning down Hot Topic.
So that's a good enough spot to end it for the regular show, huh?
Yes.
Just leave you on a good note.
On a dark historical note, much like the times we're living in.
And that's how the modern day prosthetics industry was born.
And that's how I got crabs the first time.
Exactly. Now move your ass. We're burning daylight.
Burning the shit out of it.
Aye. That's